Hey guys, Rock21 here, and welcome back to another album review. I was just checking out my channel the other day, and I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't made an album review in over 2 months, and that is far too long to go without making one. So I figured that now would be a good as time as any to start making a new album review, especially considering that over the past couple months I've been trying to expand my musical boundaries further than just the standard blues-based 70s rock and roll that I usually stick to. So I've been listening to so many great artists. The Velvet Underground, David Bowie. I've been trying out new artists I probably wouldn't have been giving a chance beforehand, such as Devo and The Cure, and it's just been so much fun. And on this little musical journey I've been taking, I also discovered that I kind of like ambient music, music that has atmosphere, music that can fill your mind, music that can paint a sonic landscape inside of your brain. I should write that down. So basically, that whole want for music with atmosphere led me straight to who else? Pink Floyd. Now, if you guys know about me and Pink Floyd, you probably know that we don't know each other too well. And that's kind of strange, especially considering that I think of myself as somewhat of a classic rock buff, yet I never got into Pink Floyd because they're like the archetype 70s rock band, I guess, And I mean, everyone knows about Pink Floyd. I mean, you've probably seen this image millions of times, yet I just never got into Pink Floyd. I guess I thought they were like pretentious or boring or weird, and I don't know, I just never listened to their music. I kind of just stayed away from them. And I even remember last year I made a video entitled Respected Artists That Most People Like That I Don't Like, and Pink Floyd was one of them. But in retrospect, I think I just never gave them a chance. And I just kind of jumped to conclusions too early by saying yeah, they're weird. But I think now that I'm trying out new things, I think it would be a great time to start listening to Pink Floyd. So I bought Dark Side of the Moon, one of the most celebrated rock albums of all time. So, will I like it, or will I be in the minority? Millions of people wouldn't like Pink Floyd if there wasn't something to like about them, so I think this will be pretty interesting. So, watch to see. Let's get started. The first 2 tracks off this album kind of blend into each other, so I'm going to count them as one. They are Speak to Me and Breathe. Now, Speak to Me is just a short little intro, about a minute long, and it is this really cool kind of collection of sounds. It starts off with just a heartbeat, and it's very chilling, a super cool way to open up an album. And then that soon kind of morphs into a collection of other assorted sounds, like the sound of a cash register and a lady wailing. And then that blends directly into Breathe. Now, for most of my life as a music listener, I was always led to believe that opening tracks should be in your face and loud and wah! But Breathe is a very chill, mellow song, yet it's just as dramatic and exciting. I love the hazy vocals and that super cool spacey slide guitar. Just such a cool, chill, atmospheric song. So far, I'm really liking The Dark Side of the Moon. Despite On the Run being merely just an instrumental transition track, it is far too interesting just to gloss over. It's led by this amazing spacey keyboard that's way ahead of its time. It sounds so frantic and frenzied and paranoid, almost like you're flying when you listen to it. It has that certain astral feel to it. But I think the real best way to describe it would be a helicopter chasing a space invader.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day.
So if On the Run didn't freak you out already, then the opening to Time, that will freak you out. I remember the first time I ever heard this song about last week when I bought this album, and oh boy, I was in for a surprise, that's for sure. So it starts off nice and slow with just the ticking of some old-fashioned clocks, then all of a sudden, that sound, oh my gosh, That sound damn near gave me a heart attack at the tender age of 16. It scared me so bad. And then it's followed by some equally freaky bell and clock sounds, and then it slowly winds down to one of my favorite parts, when it's just a single tick, back and forth, back and forth. And then it slowly builds on itself, with the keyboard putting something there, the drummer putting something there, until the vocals kick in. And my gosh, phenomenal vocals, just totally shredding. I also love the concept of the song about how time is always passing and it waits for no man. Really cool concept, really. The chorus is great and the guitar solo is just fantastic. It is one of their best songs from what I've heard. And I haven't heard much of their songs, but my gosh, can you get any better than this? The Great Gig in the Sky is probably what they listen to in heaven, because this song is not of this earth. It has such a heavenly, celestial feel to it, and the woman that they hired to sing on this song is just phenomenal. She is angelic, her voice is like an angel's, and she's not even singing any words, she's just wailing her heart out. It's beautiful. I had no idea it was possible for vocals to move me so much without even saying anything. It's been said 1,000 times, so I'm just going to say it one more time. Money has one of the best bass lines of all time. I'm not even joking. I will never get tired of this song. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, that is just the coolest thing ever. I also really like how the money and cash register sounds really interlock and kind of correspond with the bass line. That's super cool. The reverb on the guitar is great. It has an amazing saxophone solo, something I never really noticed about it before. And the jam section, where they all kind of break down at about 4 minutes, super underrated part of the song. I mean, that is just great. Almost as good as the intro. This whole song is just fantastic. And it's also the only song I heard off this album that I heard before buying this album. Us and Them is just the kind of song you think of when you think of Pink Floyd. Long, chill, and atmospheric. This ballad has a really uplifting, epic chorus to it. Also some more really nice saxophone. It's a good song. AnyColor You Like is a decent enough instrumental, but I would consider it to be the worst song off the album, simply because it doesn't have enough defining qualities of its own to really stand alone as a song. I think it's best when paired up with Us and Them, the previous track, because those two, they just flow right into each other seamlessly, and usually I don't even notice the split between the two, so I think it'd be best as one song. Also, this song shows Pink Floyd playing Minecraft music, and that's pretty cool. So for you guys who've seen my album reviews before, you probably know what I'm going to say next, because I say it all the time, but this time I actually mean it. So here it comes. Brain Damage and Eclipse is the perfect way to end off an amazing, epic album. It really is. It's beautiful, emotional, anthemic, grand, but not pretentious. It wraps everything up real nice and sends it off on a high note. What else could you ask for in a finale? Also, I think my favorite part of the song is how after Eclipse fades out, the heartbeat starts up again. Boom, 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 boom. The same heartbeat the album starts with. Despite their legendary status, I honestly wasn't too sure at first if I would actually end up liking Pink Floyd. But after listening to this album all the way through, it soon became clear that this was the best $7 of my whole life. It really was. But then that begs the question, what the hell have I been doing this whole time? I mean, how did it take me this long to listen to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, one of the greatest albums of all time? I mean, I guess I just didn't know what I was missing. I really didn't know at all. But now I have listened to it and wow. It truly is one of the most iconic albums of all time, both visually and, of course, audibly. Each and every song on here is just so well crafted, so well written, so well played. You can just tell how much time and effort went into each and every song in this album simply because of how special and unique each and every one of those songs is. This whole album is just so well structured from start to finish. The flow between tracks is so smooth. The production is great. The atmosphere is great. The concept is great. The sound effects are great. It's just great. It is such a perfect album. And I've been very, very, very generous with a lot of the ratings I've been giving all my albums in my album reviews. But from now on, this is the standard for what a 10 is. It has to be as good as Dark Side of the Moon or better in order to be a 10. Because this truly earns its right to be a 10 out of 10, perfect rating, perfect album. It is one of the best albums of all time. It's a masterpiece. It's a work of art. It's great. You can't get any better than this. You really can't. What else can I say that hasn't been being said for over 45 years? Because people know good music when they hear it, and good music lasts. This album has not aged a day since 1973, and people in 200 years are probably going to still study this album just for how great it is. Hi viewers, if you're still watching this, which you probably are if you're hearing me, then don't X out just yet, because I have a couple more things to say. The first of which may be pretty cool to you Pink Floyd fans, which I assume most of you are if you've gotten this far into the video, but it's called Dark Side of the Rainbow. Basically what it is you play the album Dark Side of the Moon at the same time as you watch The Wizard of Oz. You have to start both of them at the same time and just let them run. And I'm not going to spoil too much about what happens, but let's just say it's pretty darn cool, and I really suggest you check it out. And then one other thing I have to say is a question, really. Now that I have listened to Dark Side of the Moon and really, really, really liked it, what Pink Floyd album should I buy next? I really appreciate your suggestions. That'd be great. And once again, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to me. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned in for more great content. So until next time, bye.